back and 20
What happened to our
After moonshine,
more about this.
Oh, okay. More Applejack? Yeah.
The 2-checker Applejack. Yeah.
So is that?
That's
Yeah.
this stuff is actually good. Things like this stuff actually tastes like maybe. Yes, same stuff. It's decent.
They make like.
I was gonna say, what does weed cost today?
We get it from a guy.
It costs quite a lot to try to clean
Get it from a guy.
by your.
The guy.
You leave some money in that tree stump and you come back later.
Here's a 91 Nissan pickup truck. And we gave him $50, and he said, yeah, it's in the front seat.
You know what it is? You do a place
door doesn't lock,
in LA where you
and
can
the window's
buy pot.
broken.
It was
So we just went like, reach in, open the door, and it's in the front seat in a Walmart bag.
It was a record store. If you brought your backpack in, you checked your backpack, you know, and say, I want the Bob Marley. And like whatever money you had in your backpack would be turned into that much worth of pot. You know, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like a package store.
We got
ABC
a couple
package.
so
I want some Bob Marley. Yeah.
It's really good stuff. I mean,
It's good, yeah.
No,
It's
it's
like
nice.
apple. It's like apple cinnamon.
It actually tastes like something you'd want to taste, you know.
Yeah.
The big jars have cinnamon
I'll have a
sticks
sip
in
of
them.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Best. How much do they charge for a jar of that?
So well, we get a quart for $25.
Open. I mean, the door's unlocked.
And he makes it himself. He broke his leg. It was $20 a quart, and then he has to pay his medical bill, so it's $25
Oh
now.
man, it's like a medical tax.
Medical tax.
That's
on
what
the
socialism
moonshine.
does.
Well,
It's like they make you pay more.
even in South Carolina, the socialism is pervasive.
Man, you know. And if you notice this, the first two syllables of Social Security is the same as the first two syllables of socialism. Right? Yeah, it's communism in action here.
It is.
That's why I wear communist medals. Because
I have my communist hat back
you
here.
know when we're in Texas?
Yeah, show me my communist hat. This is my my dirty commie hat.
We have special penalties in Texas
Dirty because
where
it's been on the ground.
we make them we put a
dirty,
UN flag on their car. And we tell them we want to raise your taxes to 100% to pay for mandatory gay marriage. No! And we put the UN flag on their car. It's like branding and it hurts them. They're like, oh. You know, because here they don't give a shit about the UN, but in Texas they hate the UN.
Oh, we hate the UN here too.
I don't think people here know what the UN is.
Ow!
He's correct on
Yeah, he's got a point there.
Well, but in Texas, they obsessively listen to right-wing talk radio all the time. So they do. I think here, you know, it's like, yeah, here they hate government.
We just hate the government.
Right.
Yeah.
The government makes
No,
you
no,
pay,
government.
The government. They make you pay
Government,
tax
yeah.
on your whiskey, right?
Right, yeah.
And then, you know, they come down here,
G-Man,
they elect that
G-Man.
goddamn Abraham Lincoln, and next thing you know, there's no slavery. What the hell?
There's still places planning on seceding, you know that.
Have you
right?
noticed
South Carolina is like #1 in the line to secede.
They were the first to secede
There's
before.
still a
We were the first.
That's
No,
right.
there's still a county that has never officially rejoined the Union in
Really?
South Carolina.
What county is that?
Well,
It's
you know
somewhere
what?
down on the coast.
The Union
Like the
Army
north
is
end
sort
of the coast.
forcibly
But there is a county
rejoined
that
it.
officially did not rejoin.
How are they doing with that?
That's irrelevant, yeah.
Well, since like, the War of Northern
And the
Aggression.
slaves down in Charleston are just like top,
They're
top,
just
top,
nice.
top, yeah.
Oh man, I have a friend who grew up in Corinth, Mississippi. His family's house is on the site of one of the worst parts of the Battle of Shiloh. And he says like skulls were coming up in his backyard growing up. He said he'd like go out to the woods and the slave quarters were still there with chains. He says, man, those woods were so fucking haunted. And so as soon as he could get out, he moved to Spain. He says like, but that's haunted too. Spain's hell haunted.
She's been to Spain.
Yeah, well, they're haunted by. Well, they did slavery a long time before they had it here. One of my favorite things about the South too is all these cities that are named after, like Rome, Georgia, and Athens. They were renamed in the 1850s after famous slaveholding cultures. Like almost all the cities that have those old European, empire names.
Yeah.
1850s. Like, just the same way, like, the Georgia flag got the Confederate flag in 1958 or whatever it was when the Civil Rights Movement got going.
Right.
Same thing, like, 1850s, we'll show them all the great empires of the world had slavery. So there's Moscow, and, Rome,
Moscow,
and the whole thing. Seriously, look at the map, you'll see all these cities named after Carthage, right?
Right.
Yeah,
I didn't know when they took their names.
1850s.
Really?
Almost all of them. Yeah, before that, they were like, Jonesville. or whatever.
Yeah, it's
something
like
that.
the white slaveholder that formed the town.
The other thing people don't realize, well, people here probably understand this because they're pissed about it, but if you go to Kentucky was a Union state. They weren't a Confederate state. They were
Right, it
Union.
was. Well, because they were so far west.
People in Kentucky don't even realize that. They're like, oh, the Confederate pride. They're fucking Union state.
People in Kentucky don't realize a lot of things.
And Tennessee.
They don't realize how to date outside of their own school. You know?
And Tennessee was pretty much in practice a Union state, except for like a couple of big cities.
Yeah.
So they had guerrilla warfare going on in the hills. Pro-Union guerrilla warfare. They don't talk about that now. So anyway.
They love their
damn history. It's all complicated and confusing.
Yeah, it's all written by like white
by the winners.
Oh, the winners too.
Yeah. Well, that's the right as the winner. You get to write that story.
Oh.
Yeah. See, that's why you want to win.
Yeah. I'll keep that in mind.
Next time.
Next time, yeah.
But it's true. South Carolina has the distinction of being the first to secede.
We were the first to secede.
Yeah.
That's right. Yep. And we'll be the first to secede next time too.
Actually, seriously, I think Texas.
Good luck that time.
You know who
Texas
No,
might.
actually,
you know who we beat to secede?
Virginia, I think, didn't we?
No, New York was actually in line to secede. They were talking about leaving the Union too.
Really?
At the same
Yes.
time?
Yeah.
At the same time, yes.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Slavery was outlawed in New York in like 1820. It wasn't that slavery.
It was outlawed early. I didn't realize New York was.
Nothing about slavery. It's all about financial.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It was about
centralizing power.
centralized government versus states' rights.
Well, I mean,
At that point, New York had
okay,
a lot
but
of
War.
profit.
South Carolina and nobody else.
Never could wish.
That's true. Yeah.
The South would not have seceded if slavery hadn't been the main issue, though. I mean, because Lincoln winning the election showed that the North had finally taken control of America. It's the first time that the Industrial Revolution meant that the North was now more powerful.
Yeah.
And what was the first thing the North was going to do? Probably abolish slavery. So that was the thing that upset them the most. They probably wouldn't have seceded if not. But yeah, the main reason they did it was because the South had dominated the country up until that point.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it
because
was
it was an agrarian economy.
yeah, but suddenly the Industrial Revolution happened and the South wasn't keeping up and the North was suddenly much wealthier.
Right.
And all these immigrants had come over, they suddenly had a bigger population. And
Mohawks were moving in, the Italians.
The writing was on the wall.
Yeah.
North was going to run things, and they didn't like that down here. And
Well, they're trying to get Cuba to be made a slave state.
oh yeah,
And Arizona.
and California.
Yeah.
California, that was actually one of the things that sparked it was, they made California a state way ahead of time before it was really deserved to be a state.
Right.
Because they knew they could make it a free state. But even then, there were people bringing slaves to California and trying to claim that, it's because California was admitted under these kind of shady pretenses, it's not really a free state. But then, of course, Kansas and Missouri fought a war over slavery.
Oh, yeah.
A pretty serious war. Like hundreds died on each side. Like it was a kind of a warm-up for the Civil War.
Yeah, it was a warm-up. It was a pregame show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It was like for tomorrow.
But I mean, well, it is true that the South did not secede just because of slavery. Slavery was the only issue that upset them enough to actually do it. I don't think it really would have happened. And the other thing is, like, the constitutional grounds for preventing secession were not real firm either. I mean, the South kind of could have had a right to do it.
Well, at that point, I mean, we were.
But might makes right.
Country,
You know what? It turns out that an agricultural slave economy can't compete with an industrialized economy, in the end. Because I believe the northern economy was about 7 times the size of the southern one. And also the British were supposed to come in on the side of the South. They didn't. Because they were supposed to really want that cotton.
Right.
And they didn't help out. They're like, yeah, fuck you guys.
So me and my friends were all like fight for you.
But that northern economy did well for them.
So I drove.
Well, of course, it was all because of foreign influence that we won the American
Well,
Revolution.
no, these days,
Never gonna go back.
French.
the North no longer really
speaking the
There you go.
But back then, I mean, they really suddenly had this huge.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the French, we would have lost the American Revolution the first
Which
time.
might not have been that bad, because Canada doesn't seem. Well, Canada does kind of suck, but it's not that.
That's still British.
Canada. I mean,
I mean, it's Canada.
As you
said, Canada's
They're
what
kind of a dichotomy.
Yeah.
Canada is what the
You
United
make some more
States.
beer, eh?
It's what the United States would have been if the American Revolution hadn't
The
happened.
French hadn't helped us out.
Didn't Ottawa try
Well,
to
the French,
secede like
look,
3
the
years
French,
ago?
the French would have had their ass.
I'm serious.
Oh,
The
Canada.
French would have had their ass kicked out of North America by the British before long anyway. Come on,
No.
fucking
Come on.
British.
It was the hydropneumatic suspension that saved
Oh,
their ass.
exactly, yes.
Oh dear.
I know where this is going.
Do you happen to own any French cars?
Not yet.
Oh, you should.
Peugeot.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a Citroen coming to
Actually,
Infineon
a Peugeot 505.
I've had a 504. That was an awesome
504.
Except for the total lack of reliability.
Well, the 504 is no, that's the one they still make in Africa, isn't it?
No, they stopped making it 2 years ago.
Okay, the
4 years ago.
The 504 is on my short list of cars.
You know, the one I had was like, it was real nice to drive.
Yeah.
But the problem was I got it in the early 90s when you could still get parts in the junkyard. So I did. It meant that I kind of kept it running along past when I should have. But it came with a factory 8-track player with Linda Ronstadt tapes. Yeah.
Can't be Linda.
Well, that was when I had this gig at that time where I was the mechanic for an anti-nuclear canvassing organization.
Okay.
Peace Action. So they were Sainsbury's at the time, and I was the car czar, as they called it. My job is so people would donate.
Didn't Obama just make one of those?
Kinda, yeah. People would donate cars, to this organization, like terrible cars. And they were renting this old junior high school across the street from Mission Dolores in San Francisco.
Yeah.
This big parking lot. It used to be the playground. They'd have like 50 beat to shit free cars. So my job, I got paid like $7 an hour. This is when the economy was really terrible. I just got into college. I was like trying to postpone going to grad school. It's like, okay, I'll work on cars for $7 an hour or whatever. So whatever I could make run, they would use as crew cars.
Yeah.
And that meant like you get like 6 dirty, stinking hippies who believe in peace, as I did. Who believe in nuclear disarmament, as I did. I just didn't agree with their personalities. And they put like a bunch of them in the car, and they drive off to some spot, knock on doors, try to get money for the cause. And so you need cars for this. So it's like my job is to make. It was very LeMons-like kind of.
Yeah, kind of $500 cars.
But I could have whatever ones I wanted too. So it's like all these horrible. You saw this Peugeot is like, whoa, it's got an 8-track player. I'm taking it. And I had that for a while. Oh, this is funny. I had this '76 Nova. That was horrible. And the seat was really, it was like this dog piss soaked, nasty ass seat. Like they had no windows for like 5 years. Like bums slept in it, right?
Yeah.
So the bench seat was just fucked. So like I went to the junkyard. This was a 2-door Nova. The only good seat I could find was out of a 4-door, right?
Yeah.
4-door seats don't fold.
They're bench seats.
Yeah. I was like, fuck it. It's a nice seat. I'll put it in. They can just climb over. And I forgot to tell anybody. And then I quit. And so apparently for like 3 years, this is the only car they had that ran reliably. They would put like 6 of these people in the car, and they'd spend like half an hour trying to figure out how to fold the seat back, right? It never would. And I found out about this years later. It's like, man, because it never occurred to them that the seat couldn't fold back. Like, oh, I could totally find out how. They're like feeling their hands up inside the spring. It was a really nice seat.
This spring, maybe this spring.
Yeah, and it just never worked. And then they all had to climb over.
Yeah.
It was awesome for like years. When I finally told them about it, they're like, oh, that never occurred to us. It might not fold at all, because why would you have a seat that didn't fold? Because it was nice.
Yeah.
It was like totally smooth, perfect vinyl, It was, but I figured I would tell them and they would live with it, but I kind of forgot.
I've got twin brothers.
Sorry, I'm just ranting.
No, it's okay. No, so 504 is on my short list.
Yeah.
An 85 or 86 Alfa Romeo GTV.
Oh, Jay's got an earlier GTV. It's a nice car.
Yeah, but I've heard 85, 86 they worked all the bugs out.
No, they did. They never worked.
Well, they worked more of the bugs out.
You know what? The Milanos look kind of nice.
Yeah, but they don't have the GTV has a better engine, and I've heard if you drive it.
Twin cam.
Yeah, if you drive it without earplugs, you will never sell the car.
They sound really good.
Because the Alfa V6
well, the way Jay always puts it is like he's got this GTV that's got like $20,000 worth of Conrad Stevenson custom work in it.
Yeah.
He says like, yeah, I take it to the racetrack on the track day. I'm all solid, the wheel, it's all awesome, and then like some 80-year-old in a Miata just goes by like without even trying. It's like an area how slow it really is.
Yeah, but a GTV is a grand touring car.
I would like one.
I would like one. Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I want a Lancia Fulvia.
A Fulvia with the V4?
Yeah. I want the 4-door.
Actually, I have an article. Do you get classic motorsports?
Stratos.
Do you just have like a color
Stratos?
pitout?
I want a Fulvia though. I like the
That is nice. Do you get Classic Motorsports magazine? They have an article on the Lancia Fulvia right now.
Because I didn't want like some inside.
In my Sprite of some Toyota truck 4-speed.
Or for me,
I don't know what the identifying number is, but it's a 4-speed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I dropped off my Sprite at Evil Genius Racing.
Oh yeah? Oh, they're gonna fix that.
Well, yeah, they're gonna. I'm gonna get the rear end narrowed. They're gonna install it and put a 5-plate rear suspension in it,
Okay.
the cage and all that. Then I'm basically gonna drive for them and give it to them to race in Lemons. Because this Lemons cheap.
Oh yeah?
It ought to be fast as hell and keep it dangerous.
Yeah. With the Jaguar steering wheel?
Well, I'm 5'8" and I'm too tall for it.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm way too tall for that car. I have a hard top for it. I can't put it on. I can't fit. It's made for 5'6" people or under.
Really?
No, it's made for tall people to be uncomfortable in anyway.
It's kind of like.
No, we've had a Lemon. Right, we had a Lemon. We had a Sprite in Bucknell. It was hella slow. But it was the 998cc engine.
Oh wow.
I got a Toyota 20R in mine.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, I read the article.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the Sprite that tripling the horsepower won't fix.
No, nothing wrong with any car that tripling horsepower won't fix. Really.
Well,
I mean,
maybe.
there's
LS1.
LS1, yeah.
Well,
Just gotta like Miata. It's not the wrong answer to anything. Miata is always the right answer.
LS1 Miata is not that hard to do.
Yeah.
Jesus is building those. It looks really stupid though. You'll die.
You'll die, yeah. I mean, the Miata engine, the stock Miata engine is a pretty good engine.
I think my next project car, I want to do the Lemons. I want to do the Lemons equivalent for drag racing, where I make a 12-second car that can be driven on the street for under $500.
Yeah.
That's gonna be ghetto charging all the way.
we were
I think a
actually
ghetto
talking
charge
about
292 GMC,
Yeah.
inline 6, in a
Well, you haven't seen the hill. You haven't seen the
or a
hill that
Buick
goes across
Apollo.
the house.
Because a turbo Apollo,
It's like a
that's like
turbo
something
Apollo.
Judas Priest would have. You know, turbo Apollo.
I just got a 64.
And they don't have any clouds.
you
I
grew
think
up
we're
with
ready.
64 cars. And I have a slant 6 in my garage.
Well, there you go.
We were talking about ghetto charging, and I actually put on a
interstate
post on Graduates Motorsports about
A couple days later, they'll get to the
a slant 6.
There's a lot of turbocharged slant 6s out
Yeah,
there.
and they respond really well to the turbocharged from what I've heard.
We're good.
I'll probably get my laptop out and do some posts about the Shondell driving instructions.
We're worth it.